Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'll stand on existing protocols and say that it's a pleasure to be part of this summit and a real credit to the Planning Committee, the Investment Promotion Center, the Ghana High Commission, UK, for recognizing the pivotal nature of digitization in the transformational agenda of the government of Nana Akufo-Addo, and inviting us to share a few insights for the benefit of the investing public and our own education. Without the requisite investment in digital infrastructure and digital skills, any discussion on the benefits of digitalization will be moot, as technology has the power to formalize our economies, improve efficiency, and reduce corruption. We must treat access to the internet, voice, and data as an essential utility, just like water or electricity. We must invest in the digital infrastructure that is powering the world's fourth industrial revolution and ensure that all African countries are key players and not bystanders in the global knowledge economy. Can we have our own equivalent of Visa and MasterCard on the continent? Yes, indeed, we can. With ICTs as the catalyst, various sectors of the economy are being transformed to create richer, stronger, more developed and inclusive economies. We know that it is a critical tool to hasten socioeconomic development and formalize the economy, and so the government of Ghana has embarked on massive reforms in education and ICT sectors as part of our ambitious transformation agenda being implemented currently to realize the vision of a Ghana beyond aid, so eloquently articulated by our President Nana Akufo-Addo. Indeed, we want a prosperous and self-assured Africa beyond aid. Since taking office in January 2017, this government has improved access to senior high schools through the free senior high school program by removing cost barriers. This has enabled us to drive the number of students in our senior high schools from 800,000 to a record 1.2 million. Children who would have slipped through the cracks have been moved from the streets into school. Several projects are also being implemented to formalize our economy through technology in the area of policy and regulations, ICT infrastructure development, universal access initiatives, capacity building, data management, e-governance, cybersecurity awareness, and preparedness. We've instituted the National Identification Program and the National Digital Property Address System to serve as a national digital information hub for the identification and location of people and places in the country. Our mobile money interoperability program has also deepened financial inclusion, provided a seamless transfer of funds between several service providers, mobile money wallets, and bank accounts, and made Ghana the fastest growing mobile money market on the continent. Indeed, when Vice President Bawumia said during the campaign that he would make everyone have a bank account, this is what he meant. Now we all have a bank account in our pockets. These three initiatives form the foundation of our emerging digital economy. By the end of the first quarter of this year, an electronic platform for the payment of all government goods and services provided by all ministries, departments, and agencies will be operational to promote efficiency and transparency in revenue collection and transition us to a cash-light society, improving the security of transactions as well. The days when armed robbers attack market women and peasant farmers to and from, market queens who are moving goods to and from the farm gate, will be a thing of the past because they will transact their business electronically and not be carrying large wads of cash on them. Many of these initiatives, in fact, all but one of them, were developed and implemented by local Ghanaian IT firms. We believe that government must use its purchasing power to encourage the growth of the indigenous digital services sector and tech entrepreneurship as well. In conjunction with the Ministry of Finance, we've set up a common monitoring platform to monitor communications traffic, provide tax revenue assurance, manage fraud, and monitor mobile money transactions to assist the National Communications Authority and the Ghana Revenue Authority with their regulatory functions. It is providing real-time verification of transactions in the telecommunications sector and visibility over actual revenues earned in the sector. A national government cloud infrastructure to support both the public and private sector with cloud computing services is also being installed, while we have rolled out several e-government services, including e-justice, which I spoke about briefly, e-procurement, which is digitizing all public procurement, e-immigration, e-parliament, e-registrar, to automate business registration processes and reduce the application processing time from weeks or months to 48 hours. Applicants can also print their own e-certificates, and other initiatives are at various stages of completion. On universal access, we're implementing the Smart Community Project, which is designed to provide affordable or free Wi-Fi internet services to unserved and underserved communities across the country. We're also in the process of rolling out a rural telephony project to extend the coverage of mobile telephone and data services into all areas of the country by the end of this year. We will leave no one behind, and we're working actively to narrow the digital divide. To also narrow the gender digital divide, I am an unapologetic gender advocate. We've institutionalized the Girls in ICT initiative and expanded it into a biannual one and included mentorship sessions where accomplished female ICT professionals interact with and encourage young girls to take up courses in information and communications technologies. They also get to spend a week in Accra working with and experiencing women in technology at their workplaces and be excited to take up careers in ICT later in life. With just a few days training in computer literacy and coding, young girls between 9 and 13 years of age, some of whom had never seen a computer before, are building their own websites. The results of all of this will be fully visible in a few years, but we've already begun seeing early signs of success in confident, self-assured, articulate young people ready to take on any challenge. The Ghana Investment Fund for Electronic Communications, GIFIC, our Universal Service Fund, has also provided ICT laboratories and a network connectivity to hundreds of second cycle schools and over 200 fully equipped community information centers have been constructed across all the district and municipal assemblies in the country. These centers not only serve as centers for training pupils and students within the catchment area, but are also open to the general public for both academic and research purposes. And so farmers, market women, traders, artisans, traditional authorities are all using these facilities, which we are also rolling into as e-service centers to access all digital services once this network is complete. With all these digital initiatives underway as well, we have to step up efforts to secure the digital ecosystem and prioritize cybersecurity. Ghana is only one of 3 African countries which have ratified both the Budapest Convention on Cybercrime and Electronic Evidence and the AU Convention on Cybersecurity and Personal Data Protection, the Malabo Convention. ECOWAS has appointed Ghana as a cybersecurity champion for the region in view of our modest efforts. We must all work to secure the digital infrastructure we're putting in, as our systems are linked and will be even more so when the Continental Free Trade Area becomes fully operational. A cyber attack in one country can and will affect us all as we increasingly engage across borders and work together. We're also prioritizing data protection and held the first African Regional Privacy and Data Protection Conference in Ghana in June last year. Data governance, analytics, data mining, and ownership of the data we generate is becoming a matter of concern and opportunity with the growth of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and Internet of Things. Data is the new oil, and Africa must also benefit from it. But that's a whole subject I'll not get into now. Safe to say that we must be part of the global conversation around this subject, and opportunities abound for companies in the UK to also work with us in this area. Ladies and gentlemen, ICT will unlock the playing field for us, enable us to leapfrog development, and unearth our human capital. All these initiatives enumerated above are geared towards creating and monitoring an environment that will promote innovation, generate confidence, facilitate job creation, and alleviate poverty for the people of Ghana, and it will ultimately promote and enhance our peace and security. For the devil finds work for an idle brain. In our bid to drive digital innovation in Ghana, the government has also established a state-of-the-art mini technology hub, the Accra Digital Center, which is currently home to over 40 tech companies, and it commenced operations in 2017, but has provided 2,000 digital and ancillary jobs for Ghanaians, incubated 200 digital startups, and trained over 4,000 youth in various digital programs under the Impact Sourcing Project. The Continental Free Trade Area also promises one harmonized African market that businesses can take full advantage of to bridge the fragmented markets of more than 1 billion people, as the Minister for Trade so eloquently spoke about. We will move the continent towards a digital and knowledge-driven economy and increase our global competitiveness. The free trade area will largely be driven by technology and e-commerce, and we cannot afford to fail our people and must make it work. Yet still, critical to achieving these goals is the ease in accessing financial assistance by women and the youth. In general, it is financial inclusion that makes life easier for our people in the rural areas where it is difficult to have access to clean drinking water, good education, good health interventions, and other basic amenities, because most often all these vital services have to be paid for, no matter how little. Digitizing our financial services is therefore a necessary intervention for the average Ghanaian. With a mobile data subscriber base of over 25 million and a penetration rate of over 85%, this digital platform has made it possible for more than half of a country's previously excluded citizens to engage in financial transactions with ease. Today, it is possible for people in the remotest part of the country to access financial support from both private and public sectors, send or receive money, pay for transactions, and receive microcredit and small loans to finance small businesses and insurance. Indeed, today, it is possible to apply for your passport electronically, pay for it electronically, receive notification electronically, and have it delivered to you by Ghana Post using your digital property address if you so wish. We've come a long way from the days when the MC's father applied for passports. Let us bring our fragment so that we can scale up and build businesses that can grow and compete on the global stage. Ultimately, job creation is the goal. If we give our young people the right skills to enable them succeed in the digital world, they can and will provide the human resources for the global world of work within the next 10 to 30 years. And you can call me a prophetess when that happens. Why do I say so? As we've been told, Africa has the youngest population in the world. They are hungry for knowledge and do amazing things with the little exposure that they have. They can do even more with the right opportunities. And we, gathered here, can work together to make it happen. You can use Ghana as a launch pad to reach the rest of the continent, as all the initiatives enumerated above provide opportunities for lucrative investments in digital infrastructure, fiber, services, applications, training, e-governance infrastructure, cybersecurity, data protection systems, technology parks, business processing outsourcing centers, e-commerce platforms, and last-mile logistics delivery services. You name it. The future is here, and the future is now. However, it is important for me to state that without the requisite innovative policies driving our various agendas, it will be difficult for us to move our continent to the level we all hope for. We must develop policies that support the expansion of education and ICT infrastructure in Africa. We need to make access to ICTs the focus of policy, because it cuts across all sectors of the economy. Today, we need to build the next generation of ICT infrastructure that will power the evolution of smart, sustainable cities and communities, which have the potential of creating digital jobs and the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals. There are, however, a few critical issues to highlight to enable Ghana fully benefit from the continental free trade area. Communication charges are too high because the traffic exchange points for voice or data traffic originating from or terminating in Africa reside in Europe. To reduce the cost of communications and protect our data, we must invest in the establishment of African traffic exchange points on the continent to ensure that African traffic is managed, controlled, and protected in Africa. We must also promote the sharing of infrastructure within and among African countries to enhance the connectivity experience for all our citizens. Another key area that presents a challenge to communications is reduction in roaming charges for both voice and data. We can derive more benefits from the single market if free roaming is promoted and implemented continent-wide. We in Ghana have amended our law to give full backing to the implementation of the West African Regional Free Roaming Area agenda, and we encourage all others to do so as we work towards extending this to cover the whole of the continent. We must also ensure that data protection and cybersecurity laws are in place and are enforced in Africa. This will ensure compliance with international or global standards to secure and protect our digital ecosystem and personal data on the continent. The opportunities digitization promises for our teeming youthful population are endless. The digital era provides the platform to grow tech entrepreneurs, to develop new innovative solutions, applications, and software which address our own challenges. Mobile money was developed by Kenyans to solve the problem of financial exclusion. It is now energizing and revolutionizing digital financial transactions across the world. There are other challenges which are waiting for our own solutions to them, which can also have global application. We are keen to develop the digital skills of our youth to create the critical mass of skilled personnel needed for our development. We want to develop the software industry in Ghana to be able to produce homegrown digital solutions for the African market and beyond. It is DigiTime in Ghana, and I hope I have kindled a small interest in you to come explore the numerous opportunities this sector provides to invest in and help us grow together. May God continue to bless the work of our hands, infuse us with creativity, courage, determination, and vision, and bless our homeland, Ghana. I thank you. Am I taking questions?